most disciplined arhat at that time. Initially, when Lord Buddha was telling this Mahakayaspa about the merits of Buddha and virtues, and to speak of it, because Lord Buddha have already performed for countless in asamsayas of time. That means Lord Buddha himself have already rebirthed multiple times over multiple births, from initially like certain parables of the deer king, or those person who is ascetic who cut his own arm to feed the eagle. Okay. So if even for Lord Venerable Mahakayaspa to speak about the virtues and merits of Lord Buddha, and speaking for lengthy of time, for eons of time, he can't even finish the countless true performing deeds of Lord Buddha. For Lord Buddha, he himself is the king of Dharma. He is the speaker of truth, and he is the one who knows all, even from front to back, back to front, and maybe even up to down. And he is the teacher of heavenly beings and humans. The other part is mentioned is about sentient beings. Sentient beings here means anyone who have innate Buddha nature. And technically, this one is not limited to humans only. It may be animal realms, even let's say ghosts, asuras, even it is possible that even plants, they have more or less some form of sensations. And although it is mentioned like that, but because for certain sentient beings, they are able to cultivate faster. Certain sentient beings, maybe they have more simple way of thinking. So it depends on how human beings, it depends on how the animals or even asuras or ghosts perform. As we know, sentient beings are really stubborn. Technically, it is mentioned as stubborn and hard as diamond. Why is that so? This is because we are very attached to our things. We have a lot of desires. From these two, we create a lot of unwholesomeness. From attachment of, let's say, good sensation, attachment of physical materials like money, cars, or even women or men. It depends which side are you on. And when the development of attachment is there, then we will have desires. For these desires is another root of evil. It will make us really, we want more. We want more and more. We want this. We want to upgrade. We want to get from two-wheeler to four-wheeler to even aeroplanes. Okay. For that, we will be really got lost in this Saha world and suffer always in samsara, because we inadvertently, unknowingly, although we feel we are not attached, although we may say we are giving development, we are diversifying, we don't put all the eggs in one basket. we make our life complicated. By then, we will be creating a lot of bad debts and bad actions. This will lead us to become unwholesomeness. That will be the polite word. If simple, we can only say 4 alphabet. E, V, I, L. That's all. Although it doesn't look nice. Okay. Some people, they really want flowery words. So in this sense, and in this way, then what should Lord Buddha do? He wants us to develop wisdom, and this is how should we do it. How should we do it? Because in a sense, it is said easy. Maybe it's easy. We say like that. Okay, you just do that. But how many of us can really do such things? Drop all sorts of attachment and desires. It doesn't mean that you drop all your bad debts and just run away and go to the mountains and become a monk or whatever sort of cultivator method you are doing. In a sense, it's more towards we do what is right. For in a sense, our thinking are so fast. Maybe those years before, people's thinking is much more simple. As long as you got rice to eat, you are not hungry, you got a roof on your head, well, not in earthquake anyway, then they are already satisfied. They maybe just performing their normal routine works. Like for example, farming. Early morning go for farming, evening come back, end of story. Eat and sleep, that's all, and rest. So because our thinkings are so fast, and it is almost maybe we just lost to the artificial intelligence computer, because they can think millions of times. Maybe we think, maybe in 1 second we can have 2 or 3 thoughts or even more. But 2 or 3 thoughts in 1 second, in a minute is already is a lot more already. And we will be thinking of this. One moment we will worry for that. One moment we will worry for the money. Another moment we will worry for the safety. It's non-stop. So that brings us to the question, how to remove the desires and attachments. Lord Buddha already showed us the way. Show us the way, how do we remove one by one. So in a sense, the wholesomeness can be achieved. That will be a really good sight to behold if we live to be that long. Well, for the 10 wholesomeness, technically it is simply as simple as divided into 3 parts. The body, the speech, and the mind. Body will be physical action. Speech is, well, you know that the European have already said, the British already said, pens is mightier than words. Be careful of that, which I suppose a lot of us is committing nowadays. Well, like some people, they put in Facebook, this and that. And mind. Maybe you are scheming. Maybe you are thinking of doing good. Maybe we want to have, I want this. I want to upgrade my handphone. I want to get rid of that fella so I can take his place, etc., etc. For the body part, it is more towards a physical action, like no killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct, except to the husband and wife thing, okay? This one is, I suppose, maybe it's much more easier to do. Whereas for the speech part, no false speech. So, you know the political situation, you know what I mean. No slandering, same thing for the politician also. But there will be always in a lot of other forms like harsh words and no gossips. So technically, even this is only one speech, but they have more or less divided into 4 types. Then we come to the last one, the mind. Here the mind is either we say the brain, or in a different context, we say it's the heart. No greediness, no contempt, no ignorances. No greediness means we do not have cravings. We do not have wantings. We do not have selfishness thinking and as such. So in the end, when we do not have, okay, as long as the phone can be used, it's all right. Until the technology forces you to upgrade, because not everyone using WhatsApp. But in WhatsApp, maybe what we can say is, okay, I don't simply transmit the messages which is wrongful, which is having bad words, and maybe we don't say become a firestone. I mean, it's a Malay context word, batu api. So we do not cause people and ourselves to have greediness. Because greediness, there will be 2 parts. Either you cause greediness in other people, or you cause greediness in ourselves. Because, as it is said, swords have 2 edges. Contempt. Contempt is, in a sense, it means angriness, improper thinking. We become very bad-tempered in the mind. When it occurs in the mind, in our body and our speech, those will shoot up. Especially like those when you want to win, a lot of things will show up to your body language and your speech. For example, let's say you want to walk very properly and you are not at ease. You want to walk better than other people. And like you are holding a small glass of water which is filled full to the brim. The more unsteady of your mind, the more tremors you will have. So in the end, what will happen? The water droplets will drop out from the edges. No ignorances. Well, I'm not ignorant. I have A in my mathematics. I have B in my languages. But in a sense, ignorances here does not mean you are stupid. It is more towards means, do you know the facts of life? How good you interact with people? How good you do things? And more or less, it translates more towards the wholesomeness. Okay, when the Lord Dharma speaks, so it benefits all living beings, all places. Well, for now, maybe we know we have humans only on Earth, we have living beings on Earth only. But as mentioned in the Sutra, and some astronomical journals or something, or this world, that world, but so far they haven't met anyone yet. For living beings on Earth, I mean, we're keeping it simple. There are trees, tree form the forest, there are various plants, then flowers, Okay. And various herbs. Well, that is interesting. Why? Okay. In the places on earth, we say at least, mountains, valleys, lands, okay lah, flat land, swampy land or whatever. But in a sense, what is this? This is a metaphor. For Buddha is trying to teach us wisdom. Well, what sort of wisdom will be there? How do we think? Buddha, in this chapter, his wisdom is like rain. He does not say, hey, I don't like you, I don't give you rain. Or I like you more, or I don't like you also, I give you more rain and flooding. Right? He is fair, he is benevolent, and he is gracious. And the best of all, he is compassionate and having lots and lots of loving kindness. That is the reason why he came back again and again. But once he gave out his Dharma, because he is the world-honored one, his voices will be heard in all the worlds. Not only in this world, in all the realms, all the 6 realms, up to the heavenly beings, up to the other Buddha kingdoms. For the rain, or in this context, Dharma, it nourishes the mind. It gives us growth in wisdom. And for all places, the rain drops. And I mean, in a case, wets the ground or wets the plant. All the places will have received equal and adequate amount. Adequate in a sense is depends on how you are able to accept the rain from the raindrops. So in a sense, when we receive this, the rain, what shall we do? We receive the rain, we receive the knowledge, and hopefully for us, stubborn and hard as diamond beings, can make some changes. In this case, in this parable, there are trees. For the human, it's like trees. Well, depends on your cultivations. They are divided into various types of trees, branches, large trees, large branches, large trunks, and various types of herbs. So some trees grows faster, grows bigger. Some trees, maybe they grow also faster, but because their roots is not in the proper foundation, so they may later develop trouble. And the tree, by just a strong wind in the storm, and will be tumbled over. And the same thing for herbs and plants. There are various types of plants, big plants, expensive plants. All right. So in a sense, in this metaphor, why this happens? Because it is mentioned the plants is more or less indicates what sort of cultivators you are. The nature of the cultivation, the type of the cultivation, I mean, in a sense, is thinking. So what should we do? Well, life is not easy because we are already deluded, but we are lucky we are able to hear the Buddha Dharma and a good master, a good sifu, who is trying all this while to knock some sense in our head. Well, that is a metaphor, but we know this is a hardcore type of thinking because it depends on people. We have our own jobs, our own responsibilities. So what to do? We can do that or we cannot do that. That is the reason. Right. So as we know, Lord Buddha, when he's speaking the Dharma from his throne, the lion's throne, he showers the whole world. Why he do that? Because he is compassionate for the other people, for all beings. And he's trying to get everyone and every beings to the parinirvana state. And he is the all-knowing one. So technically, he have a tougher and very tough job to do. So when Lord Buddha speaks the Dharma, for us in this age of decay, we can hear through his disciples, like our master, in the books, in the sutras, and all the venerable ages writing throughout the ages. But when Lord Buddha speaks, it resonates throughout the world, all the worlds, which I have explained just now. And it is better than all the PA system we have. For maybe in a sense, they are transmitting it in a different way, not electrical. Maybe more is a mind state. Who knows? I don't know. Do you? There is technically more than 10 names for the enlightened one or Buddha. But commonly, it is framed, put as 10 names. The one who comes, the one who deserves offerings because his merits and virtue is beyond descriptions. Correct, peerless enlightenment. For he will know everything. Maybe even better know all the mathematics. Well, I never liked algebra. Okay. Perfect in wisdom and action. For all the works he do, all his thought, all his action, there are reasons. And like, for example, he is full of wisdom and he tried to teach us, the sentient beings. So maybe some is easier to talk to, some easier to speak to. Certain people, they have to do their own, he has to do and give some action to show them. It is something like, are you speaking to a preschool children, standard one, or maybe primary school, or maybe the secondary school children? Well, secondary school children, they are more active. Maybe they have their own way of thinking. Or maybe an old man, old person. And his action, some certain things is shown through the actions he do. And nowadays, we call it stories and parables. The well-gone one means he really have achieved a blissful state of permanence. He does not even have any rebirth. He doesn't have any, well, rebirth not means in reincarnation. It's just that he wants to come back. So he have great vows. If I remember correctly, I think Gautama Buddha makes. I mean, someone told me. I never saw the writings about that. He's one of the peers of proponents of Dharma. He is the speaker for Dharma. He say Lord Gautama Buddha makes 250 vows. Wow. Even for Amitabha Buddha, well, how many? 40? Medicinal Buddha, 12. So, but sadly to say, even one we have not able to really achieve. That is a tough job. Right? He is knower of the world. He knows everything. He looks at you. He knows what you are thinking. He knows what you want to do. Well, he's the peerless nobleman and one who subdues and tames. Here, nobleman doesn't mean he is born of a high heritage, having born to the kings. It does not really mean that. It means he is beyond reproach for his words and actions. And he subdues all the greediness, attachment, defilements, angriness, etc., the whole long list. So in this case, he subdues and tames the desires. Teacher of heavenly beings and humans. We know the stories of Buddha went to the heavens to give Dharma speech to his mother and the heavenly beings. And we are lucky, human can hear his teaching. And Buddha is the one means enlightened. And he's the world-honored one because he's beyond, and he's the ideal and perfect, in the case we say being. He guides us. How? He knows everything. He sees everything. He knows all the Dharma. But he proclaims the Dharma, but do we listen? He teaches the Dharma. Do we listen? That will be a lonely job for Lord Buddha. Whom benefits? All beings, heavenly beings, humans, asuras. Like in some chapters, we already heard, even bodhisattvas, Buddhas are who willing to come to listen to his Dharma because they have shared the ultimate truth. He shares the ultimate truth, the unsurpassed truth, the supreme truth. And the others, sentient beings, maybe even animals, we don't know. Like most of you all know the story of the dog Tapao in the Hualien abode. Well, he's one of the blessed dogs in the whole world, I suppose. How Buddha will teach us, for us who is full of defilements. I want this, I want that. I don't like this. I don't want that. I want these things. I want to grab these things. I want to have more of these things. Lord Buddha teaches us to release our desires, our attachments, to release and free of such unwanted evil actions. Whereas for people whose heart is restless, maybe they don't know they can learn, maybe they learn something, but they don't know all the things. Maybe they are already deviated. So Buddha tried to make us to have a still heart. Though initially I suppose a lot of people will think, hey, still heart, is it death? Well, you can die, no problem, but can you go where he wanted you to go? He can teach you, but he cannot take you. Sorry. No free rides. No free tickets. Tickets is there, but are we able to seek the tickets? The tickets to our true innate nature, our true still hearts. Still means, in a sense, our mind is stable. The pH is stable. The voltage is stable. There is no interference from outside, from inside, or from whatever side. As we know, certain things in the world, the most we can say is 4 directions. Maybe say north, south, east, west. Okay, you add another 4 intangible directions. Northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. But Buddha is more than 3D, maybe 5D, 10D, 10 dimensions. So he tried to make us to learn to control our hearts. Hearts in this case actually is our mind, or in human we say the brain. And for people who seeking eternity, he will guide us how to attain nirvana. Nirvana doesn't come at one go. Well, not like David Beckham. As long as he shoot the goals, he got plenty of money. We have to get and accumulate lots of good affinities. Affinities with Dharma, affinities with people, and the most important of all is affinities with ourselves. We should be the one who really realizes and learn how to control our mind, which will lead to our actions. The all-seeing one, and Buddha is the one full of wisdom. So he cares for all innumerable beings in innumerable realms. Okay. So those with capabilities, they will come and listen. Once they know the news, Buddha is giving Dharma, they will come. Up to the enlightened beings like Bodhisattvas, they will come because they cherish the chances to hear the Dharma. But do we, human beings, do that? Buddha is compassionate. So what do he do? It depends on how you want to learn. He may do it as simple as expedient method. methods or true methods. Expedient methods means it's skillful methods. He just give you simple actions, simple type of teachings, stories. All is for what? Alah, storybooks only lah. No, they have their meanings. Because maybe certain people their trait is much more hard. Their mind is much more close. Their language or their thinking, their speech is difficult. So in some schools of Buddhism, maybe they're just teaching them, oh, okay, chant the name of Amitabha thousands of times, millions of times, or as such. Lord Buddha do all sorts of methods. Even there is only one sentient beings there, he may even want to lead you. He leads by giving all sorts of parables, stories. Well, I'm not going to put the words Jataka here. It gets complicated. We keep it to simple English. For true methods, it's more for the person who are more slightly educated. They are more maybe bright and smart. They have more or less learned something, and they want to know more. But even when Buddha expounds the true principles of the one great vehicle Dharma, you know what happens? Thousands of his disciples left because they felt Buddha becomes deviated. Well, in a sense, we don't know. Technically, Buddha lived all the eons of times and samsayas of time. So it depends on are you able to see the end results, the true principles. That is the reason Lord Buddha kept the Lotus Sutra to the last. End result is for all sentient beings. He has great loving kindness for all beings. Well, it's way beyond almost 2,500 years ago. Even Buddha said, in the water there are 84,000 organisms living in a glass of water. I suppose the Europeans only discovered it in 18th centuries when they invented the microscope. See, he is much more clever than them anyway. By following the teaching of Buddha, so it depends on the sentient being's root, their capabilities of learning and accepting. Buddha spoke and teach in different methods. Why? Well, at least we achieve happiness and at ease. Not for him. He already achieved that. So in a sense, what? For us, actually. He wants us to achieve happiness. When we're happy, we don't do evil things. And we are at ease, we don't go and create problematic matters, desires. And hopefully over the years, over the eons of time, we can achieve Buddhahood, Buddhasita. He do that by showing us the cultivation methods. Well, methods, path, the way, there are numerous ways. And in the end, he wants us, the normal, or we say, unperfect beings, to achieve grade A, wholesomeness, good character, good actions, good thinkings, complete thinkings, complete and able to contemplate thinkings. And hopefully slowly we will able to shed away one by one of our attachments. We get rid of this, we get rid of that. Maybe sometimes like we say, oh, like when we first, even for myself, when I first work, we get a handphone, we get an expensive one. But after that, we feel, what's the point? I use the handphone, use it for the longest period until either the handphone is damaged or become poor in memory, not enough gigabytes. Then only we change. That should be the way. Use everything for its true complete lifespan, nature. Like our Dharma brothers are doing, publishing the Dharma, recycling the books. In a sense, recycle is the last method actually. We should reuse the book. We should reuse whatever things. Not say, we, sorry. Hello? Hello? Okay. Okay. So in a sense, we should achieve, we receive the Dharma with open arms. That's the only picture I can get. I can't put myself inside there, right? And let our wisdom grow from a seed to a small plant up to the big trees. All sentient beings, they have a karmic retribution. So in a sense, we try to negate the karmic retributions. But karmic retributions, there are two types. One is the good one and one is the bad one. The good one, no problem. We have a lot of credit. We can be born in a higher state of reincarnation, in a better state, as king, as a big family full of treasure and well-being. So in a sense, we want to, the sentient beings, one thing is, they stay in the four lands in peace and bliss. The four lands, I only can remember one, the Jambu Vipa something. The other three that I couldn't remember. So with karmic retributions, we may be born as even heavenly beings, great Dharma wheel kings, and as Sakra and Brahma kings. I mean those because in those times, the Indian continents, they still the words Sakra and Brahma. Maybe someone can be born in a Dikasing family, at least not the son, maybe a grandchild. Maybe he's lucky or unlucky. Unlucky if he does not cultivate. In this case, heavenly beings, wow. They only say is Buddha, not Buddha saying it is small medicine plants, you know. It is still not the great one. Because one thing is, our roots are small. Our learnings are small. And especially from our retribution affects us a lot. Small plants, small herbal plants. Whereas for sentient beings, cultivating the non-leak Dharma and able to achieve parinirvana, they have the 6 magical prowess and 3 insights: life, the all-seeing eye, and leaking. But they still have leaking wisdom. Solitary in cultivation and place, and they are the Pratyeka Buddhas. Pratyeka Buddhas, it only means when there are no Buddhas to to teach him, he himself or gain the state of Pratyeka Buddha, the self, the solitary cultivator. They have a slightly higher level of medicinal herbs. Well, good. Especially in the age of Dharma decay. That is difficult already. Sentient beings who are Buddhist disciples, firm and steadfast in Dharma, and I want to go into the Buddha land. And I need to be diligent in cultivations. Better grade. Maybe A, grade A or A plus. Ginseng level is it. More expensive. Huh? Sentient beings who are really true in cultivations. And really they have tons and tons of compassion and loving kindness. And yes, I know, I can become a Buddha. Small tree ready, upgraded ready. But are they strong enough? Not yet, because they still have regressions. Sentient beings who have already cultivated for eons of time have gained magical prowess, and they are in contemplation and meditation. Non-regression in their heart. And they are able to lead the sentient beings across the sea of samsara. We call them bodhisattva. Oh, big trees. See? You can't even see the top, just the trunk. How small we are. Dharma and path. The present benefits for us, it calms us down, makes us peaceful, trying to remove our obstruction and defilements, and it forms a cornerstone for us to step in, to progress. In the future, what we do for us? Who cares? We live our life now. Never mind. Maybe we will have a good birth. Better still, no more rebirth. We already disconnected. Upgrade into the more than Wi-Fi level. And then the person will achieve eternal bliss. Buddha Dharma, they have a lot of forms, but in the end, it comes to what? One form, one vehicle. Though presented in numerous forms of teachings. The three main forms of teaching is what? Liberation form, they teach us to rebirth and death. It's not good. The separation forms, there are no forms of nirvana. So in a sense, nirvana does not exist. But in extinction form, there are neither rebirth, death, and nirvana, and neither there is no non-form. Well, it got us headache already. But this is the middle path. The middle path will be the unsurpassed wisdom, the ultimate wisdom, world wisdom. On hearing the Dharma, what should we do? Uphold the Dharma and Sutra? Yes, we should do that. We read and read. The more you read, the more you understand. We recite. Right? Recite is trying to help us to get into our mind. And we cultivate the method, the path. Books and read. And we contemplate. Seeing the stars, seeing the world. Sentient beings, for us, because we are deluded, we are unaware of our virtues and merits. Because Tathagata, Buddha, of his infinite, unsurpassed wisdom, he knows our beings, sentient beings, mind and nature. Sentient beings, why? What? How? He knows what we think, how we learn. He contemplates how we want to learn, what type of Dharma we want to learn. He knows our heart, that how we want to cultivate, and what sort of Dharma we are going to cultivate. He described us as various plants and herbs in various environments and soils, whom do not know their own nature and growth. Buddha as the all-seeing one. Well, this is a metaphor. In a sense, we don't know what sort of plants we are also. So what he do? Of his wisdom, he leads us, the stubborn ones, trying to at least put a foot onward, one step at a time, tempting us with wisdom and knowledge. So our heart must be still from learning the Dharma. We gain our knowledge. Hopefully, we are able to have still in the heart. Then slowly wisdom will seep through into our thick head. Buddha is the one form of one vehicle Dharma. The three forms of Dharma are three forms of teachings: liberation, separation, and extinction. Somehow it funnels into emptiness. Susah. Now that is the difficult part. So numerous form of teaching is compressed into what? Well, he wants us to be a Buddha, or at least one step away from become a Buddha, a Bodhisattva, a really mindful beings, a really mindful sentient beings, a really mindful human, caring for everyone, for the earth, every plant, everything. Be mindful. That concludes my speech for these parables of medical herbs. Cảm ơn Master Cheng and Abbot Masters. Thank you. Sister Tzu Chi, please take over.
Cảm ơn Brother Ho for such wonderful sharing. Okay, dear brothers and sisters, so sorry, my greatest apology. I think there's a miscommunication. Brother Joe, he is away for mission in Central America, and Brother Yoping is in Tima. So we will conclude today's session. Thankfully, we have Brother Ho to share with us lots of heartfelt and wisdom. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for your presence today. Okay, for the coming Saturday, we will check again the schedule with Brother Joe Huang and Brother Yoping. I think Brother Joe Huang is trying to come back and share the review with us since Master is back with Morning Life Wisdom. Okay, I hope that each of us will sustain the Dharma joy and take in another piece of Dharma, Masters, and Hualien love to our life. Let us please make 3 vows to the Buddha and Dharma Master as we depart to apply these teachings in our daily lives. Let us pay our respects to our teachers of life, universal truth. First bow. Second bow. And third bow. Cảm ơn, brothers and sisters. See you all next Saturday. Okay, we will keep each other posted. Hopefully there will be session next Saturday. Cảm ơn.